got a smile on my face and I got a new guitar around me. I got the sun in the sky and all the water surrounds me. Oh, hey, oh, yeah, I win now, but sometimes I lose. I've been battered, but I never bruise. It's not so bad. And they say, hey, 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 it's just an ordinary day, and it's all your state of mind. At the end of the day, you just gotta say it's alright. It's alright. Janie sings on the corner, what keeps her from dying? Yeah, let them say what they want, she won't stop trying. Oh, hey, oh. She might stumble if they push her around. She might fall, but she'll never lie down. It's not so bad. And they say, it's just an ordinary day, and it's all your state of mind. At the end of the day, you just gotta say it's alright. It's alright. Come on, Stephen. There's always some sorrow. Yeah, but it's a double-edged knife, but there's always tomorrow. Oh, hey, oh. It's up to you now if you sink or swim. Just keep the faith and your ship will come in. It's not so bad. And I say, hey, 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 it's just an ordinary day, and it's all your state of mind. At the end of the day, you just gotta say it's alright. Hey, hey, it's just an ordinary day, and it's all your state of mind. At the end of the day, you just gotta say it's alright. It's alright. It's alright, it's alright. I've got a smile on my face, I got four walls around me.
How about that? Good morning. How is everyone this morning? Good. You're in for, I don't know what you're in for today. I just got back into town from my week in Arizona, where it's not snowing. In fact, far from it. But I'm so happy to be back. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Toronto. My name is Jonathan Zenz. I'm the spiritual director here, and it's such a pleasure to have you all here this morning. A couple of things I want to let you know about. We will be restarting classes, not this week, but next week. On January 9th, we will be starting Science Mind 103. That's going to be on Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock right here at the center, and is an 8-week course. On Tuesday nights, beginning January 22nd, we'll be teaching Exploring Roots, which is a new class that I've never taken, and I will just be teaching it, because why the heck not? But that class covers the history of New Thought and how we basically got to be where we are today, looking at the luminaries of the New Thought movement. Anyway, it's going to be a great, great class. I'm really looking forward to teaching that. We have, I want to let you know that in honor of the New Year celebration that is going to be happening tomorrow and the next day, the World Healing Meditation is going to be happening. This is the 26th year, and you're all invited to go to the World Healing Meditation. It's at St. Lawrence Hall, which is at King and Jarvis, at 6:30 a.m. So if that appeals to you, I will tell you, being a theater person, that doesn't appeal to me. because, it's once upon a time I would be just going to bed around that time. No. So that's happening tomorrow morning. Also, tomorrow at the Unitarian Church on Hiawatha, which is near Coxwell and Girard, there is a dance, the Dances of Universal Peace, and that's at 7 p.m. tomorrow, and it's a potluck. So if you're interested in that, you can find out more information from Howard, who's raising his hand back there, flailing that hand around, and he can tell you all about it. And our community has supported these events in the past, and it would be great to have you show up. So that's all I'm going to tell you with respect to the business of this center. How is everyone? Great. You sound great. It's so great to see you all, and I love when we have like a nice big hearty crowd. Who's here for the first time? Welcome. Welcome. You're in for me, which is yeah. It'll all make sense at the end of the service. Well, it's a pleasure to have you here. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Toronto. So we come here every Sunday in celebration. That's what I choose to do. I come here in celebration of an idea. And that idea is that there is one power in the universe. There's one power, there's one energy, there's one infinite intelligence in the universe. And this is what we choose to celebrate here every Sunday, with the recognition that that power is what is flowing through each and every one of us. And it is the creative factor of our lives. So everything that's happening in our lives and in our experience originated within this one power. And this one power is affected by our thoughts. So there's the basic teaching of what science of mind is and what this philosophy is. So we celebrate that here every Sunday in many, many, many ways. I'm looking around. Hold on. There. Because I hadn't seen you yet. Don't worry, you're not getting up right now. So we have readers, right? And I hadn't seen our reader of the day yet. Anyway, she is here. But okay, I'm going to calm down for just a moment. I have to tell you, I'm super energetic today because I had such a great week in Arizona last week. I feel really rejuvenated and refreshed. So let's take a look at the inside front page of our songbooks, and let's read this together under what we believe. And as we read this together, really be cognizant of what you're feeling in the moment as we read this. What is it that is going through your own mind, and do you agree with what you're reading or not? And if you've read this many, many times, don't let it be rote. Read it as though you're reading it for the first time. So let's read this together. I believe that the spiritual and material universe are one. I believe that whether I call it God, spirit, energy, or universal consciousness, every person, place, and thing emanates from this one creative source. I believe that spirit is an infinite, loving intelligence operating in and through all life, never separate from anyone or anything. I believe in cause and effect. I believe that it is done unto me as I believe, and as I think, so I become. I live this now, and I rejoice in it, and so it is. So it's funny. The word that caught me this time was God. Isn't that interesting? Because I was the one who came in a year ago, almost exactly a year ago, and I started challenging people with the big G word, right? God, we call this energy by many names, but when we talk about God, we're not talking about some man sitting out on a cloud out there. We're talking about this universal consciousness of which we're all a part. And so when we say the word God, don't let that send you into a tailspin if that's where you naturally go. Just recognize it. It's a different word that we use to talk about the same thing. It's all semantics, ultimately. So here to take us a little bit further down that road of inspiration, I'm going to invite Lena DeSanto to the podium, and she's going to offer us a reading. Where am I going? To the podium, and I will hand you a microphone. All right.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So great to see all of you, my extended family, my chosen family for the last Sunday of 2012. And it's been an interesting year, and my year started with the word love, lots of vibrant energy, which is what I've learned, what I needed to work on within myself to reignite and regain that energy within me to create my life and to live the life as I wanted. And with all of that, finding a reading, I went through my books, and I came up with Marcy Shimoff's book, Love for No Reason. And I'm also one of Marcy Shimoff's love ambassadors, as I had forgotten, because that was almost 2 years ago that I had done this. So I chose something that was fun, and it's from her chapter 2, Breaking Through Your Love Limits. And the first, there's a little saying, don't settle for love of this or that, he or she, that is all so, so small. Stubbornly hold out for love itself beyond everything. And then she included this fun email that she felt was important enough to include in her book. And some of you may have already seen it through the email trail. And it's called Installing Love on the Human Computer. So the technical support. Yes, how can I help you? Customer. Well, after much consideration, I've decided to install love. Can you guide me through the process? Tech support. Yes, I can help you. Are you ready to proceed? Customer. Well, I'm not very technical. And if any of you know me, I'm not very technical. But I think I'm ready. What do I do first? Tech support. The first step is to open your heart. Have you located your heart? Customer. Yes, but there are several other programs running now. Is it okay to install love while they're running? Customer. Let's see. I have past hurt, low self-esteem, grudge, and resentment. They're running right now. Tech support. No problem. Love will gradually erase past hurt from your current operating system. It may remain in your permanent memory, but it will no longer disrupt other programs. Love will eventually override low self-esteem with a module of its own called high self-esteem. However, you have to completely turn off grudge and resentment. Those programs prevent love from being properly installed. Can you turn those off? Customer. I don't know how to turn them off. Can you tell me how? Tech support. With pleasure. Go to your start menu and select Forgiveness. Do this as many times as necessary until grudge and resentment have been completely erased. Customer. Okay, done. Love has started installing itself. Oops, I have an error message already. It says, error, program not run on external components. What should I do? Tech support. Don't worry. In non-technical terms, it simply means you have to love yourself before you can love others. Pull down self-acceptance. Then click on the following files. Forgive self, realize your worth, and acknowledge your limitations. Customer. Got it. Hey, my heart is filling up with new files. Smile is playing on my monitor, and peace and contentment are copying themselves all over my heart. Is this normal? Tech support. Yes, that means love is installed and running. One more thing before we hang up. This love program is freeware. You're welcome to share it with others. Please pass it along. From my heart to each and every one of you, thank you.
That was fantastic. Thank you so much, Lena. Thank you for sharing that. Love is a free program. Yes, yes, yes. Perfect for today. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So I'm going to invite Margaret Ann Snyder to the podium. We're just to be here because we're still getting used to the treating within the song thing, right? So I'll invite you to the podium if you want to stand here, and we'll start the. We're going to start the chant, which is not in your book, but it's easy to sing along. Once you get it, you'll have it in about 2 seconds flat. So, this is one of my favorites, and I think it's very apropos for New Year's, with the recognition that we are one people, we are one unit, we are one cohesive thing that is inhabiting this thing called life. And this is a good thing. This is a very good thing. And within that, it's important to remember that we each have unique, individual lives. You don't have to be like everybody else. You get to be who you are. It's all your choice. And so celebrate that choice. Celebrate who you are. So if it's comfortable, if you want to just relax in your seat, and you can sing along if once you pick it up, which will be very quickly. We'll just resonate with this melody. One people living on one planet, joining in one family. We all are one. That's the whole thing. One people living on one planet, joining in one family. We all are one. One people living on one planet, joining in one family. We all are one.
As I take a breath and breathe into this moment, I feel a love in my center, and I feel a love from each and every one of us. We are one family, one extended, beautiful, brilliant family that is the center of love. There is only love. And I rejoice in this love. I allow it to come from my center and expand and grow and to be, to include everything and everyone, because everything and everyone is love. It is the one energy that is perfect, whole, and complete. And as I realize this in myself and in everyone, I am grateful. And this gratitude bubbles in joy. There's only one, and we are it. I am it. Everyone is it. It is the essence of life, the essence of love, the essence of peace, joy, possibility, beauty. This love is beauty, and we share it as a smile, as a hug, as a kiss, as a promise, and as a commitment. There's only love, and I am grateful. I am grateful that there is only one presence, and each of us is a part of it. Each of us is an expansion of it in this eternal, infinite expression of God. In gratitude, I release these words to the law of mind, knowing it happens with ease, with joy, and with love. In gratitude, please join me in saying, and so it is.
all are one. One people living on one planet, joining in one family. We all are one. One people living on one planet, joining in one family. We all are one. We all are one. We all are one. You can applaud. Oh, sorry. See, okay, so I'm going to admit to you, this is ridiculous. It's a ridiculous thing, but I'm actually a little nervous. I'm going to say who you are, if that's okay. I'm a little nervous because there's another minister in the room. And it's so ridiculous to be nervous, right? But it's because I'm a young minister. You know, I've only been in the pulpit for a year, but whatever. I've been spiritual my whole life, so it doesn't matter how long I've been in the pulpit. But there was a funny thing that happened in my ministerial intensive. So anyway, I want to introduce Reverend Jill Brocklehurst, who's here from Campbell River visiting us. She was my roommate at Asilomar this past year. But there was this funny thing that came up at my ministerial intensives when I was going through the final testing phase to become a minister, where somebody would get up and they would do a treatment, like one of the young, new, ministerial candidates was getting up and they would do this treatment and everybody would feel so great after the treatment and the group of us would explode into applause and it was such a great, uplifting feeling. And at one point we were actually berated for it. Did you know this? We were berated saying, you should not applaud, you should allow the energy of the moment to be what it's going to be. I'm like, but that is the energy of the moment. There's no reason why we can't applaud after our chant. There's whatever you're feeling, it's good, as long as it feels good. If it doesn't feel good, then rethink it. All right, so like I say, I'm on tangent land. Right, Brian? So we have a great song today. I'm going to, this song, this is a beautiful song. So this is a song that was written by Pierre Gautreau. Ooh, what a nice new guitar. And before we go into the song, I just want to acknowledge the band, because as I say this frequently, that music is very important to me and very important in my ministry. And when I was determining what kind of ministry I would like to have, music was right at the top of the list. And I don't think I could have demonstrated a better band. And so I'm so grateful to you, and I'm so grateful for all that you give to this center. So I'm going to let him sing his song and just enjoy.
Okay. This is called Extraordinary Life. I want to write the songs that you want to sing along. I want to share what I know. You got a friend in me. Just open your eyes and see we're one. That's all that's needed to know. We are the water. We are the sky. Back to the earth. When it's time to fly, so let's you and I commit to an extraordinary life. Take a vow from this point now. an extraordinary life. It's yours for the taking. It's your mind that's making an extraordinary life. I won't settle for less or suppress what's longing to get out of me. The music comes from my soul, it's a part of me, makes me whole, cooking up melodic recipes. We are the water, we are the sky, back to the earth when it's time to fly. So let's you and I commit to an extraordinary life. Take a vow from this point now, an extraordinary life. There's no mistaking. My thoughts are creating all that I see and all that I do. I get to decide which door to go through. Won't fear the unknown, 'cause I'm never alone, because all is my home. We are the water, we are the sky, back to the earth when it's time to fly. So let's you and I commit to an extraordinary life. Take a vow from this point now, an extraordinary life. There's no mistaking. Your thoughts are creating. It's yours for the taking. Your mind is making all that we see and all that we do. We get to decide which door to go through. Won't fear the unknown, we're never alone, because all is my home. Let's you and I commit to an extraordinary life. Take a vow from this point now, an extraordinary life. There's no mistaking. Your thoughts are creating. It's yours for the taking. Your mind is making an extraordinary life.
That's an incredible song. The thing is, then I think, well, there are the people online who have no idea what everybody's laughing at, because that wasn't on camera. Pierre was bowing down to his new guitar. So I'm going to talk about the song a little bit later. So this thought came to me in the middle of the song, though. Not related to the song. I was listening to the song. But there was a thought that came to me in the middle of the song, is now that I've called out the the people who are running the ministerial intensives, it then occurred to me that one of those people actually does watch my service on a regular basis. And I thought, okay, Dr. Maureen Hoyt, I apologize. I didn't mean to call anybody out specifically or, by name, which I've now done. She gets it. I love her. All right. So today is tomorrow. Today is tomorrow. This is the title of my talk, which none of you will know because the Friday email didn't go out this week because we were all on vacation. We were all on holiday. I was out of the country, and Deja was doing whatever Deja does when she's on holiday. I don't even know what she was doing. We haven't spoken all week. But there was nobody in the office, so no email went out this week. But I'm so glad you all knew that there was service today. Anyway, title of the talk, Today is Tomorrow. Today is tomorrow, and it's broken down into sort of 3 different sections. So first of all, I'm going to talk about circumstances, the circumstances of life that we all face. Now, I faced some circumstances this past week as I was going to Arizona for the holidays. So last Sunday, I left service, and I went home, and I packed all my stuff up, and I went to Tanis and Pierre's, and they were very lovely to host dinner for me that night, and they let me stay at their place because their place is a lot closer to the airport than my place. And I had I don't remember what time my flight was going out of Pearson, but I left their place at 5:15 a.m. to get to the airport on Monday morning. And I get to the airport and everything is great, and I check in and go through customs and immigration, and there I am, and I get onto the plane, and there we are on the plane, sitting on the plane, sitting at the gate for about half an hour. After they've closed the doors, please turn your cell phones off. They close the doors, and we sit there at the gate for a half an hour. Now, mind you, I'm flying to San Francisco where I'm supposed to make a connection. We're there, I'm sitting there for a half an hour. Okay. And then the captain's coming on and he says, so we've got a mechanical issue. Don't they always? We've got a mechanical issue and we're trying to get it cleared up and then we'll be able to go. So sit there for half an hour. Then finally the plane starts moving and we start taxiing out to the runway. We taxi a little ways and then the plane stops. No explanation. And we're just sitting there on the tarmac. And about 10 minutes after we've been sitting there, captain comes back on and says, so we've got this maintenance mechanical issue, which I think is code. I sometimes, like they say, it's a maintenance issue, and you hear it all the time, and I think there's something maybe else going on. I don't know. So we're sitting there for 40 minutes on the tarmac, and they finally say, okay, we need to go back to the gate. So they turn us around, we go back to the gate. The circumstances of my trip are now getting to be a little annoying. We go back to the gate, and we sit there for a couple minutes, and they finally say, we need you to deplane. We're going to put you on another plane. And then I think, why didn't they just put us on that plane to begin with? So they put us on another plane, and thank goodness on Christmas Eve, there was another plane available. They put us on another plane. Now, in the meantime, I already know that I'm going to miss my connection in San Francisco. So we have like a half hour to get to the new gate. I go to the customer service, and I'm talking to them. I'm like, is there any other flight you can put me on? I've got to get to Tucson, Arizona, which is a itty-bitty little airport in the grand scheme of airports. And not a lot of flights go to Tucson if you're, considering that you have to make a connection. So I am there and I'm trying to figure it out, and they're like, no, there's nothing you can do. I think the best thing you can do is go to San Francisco and try your luck there. I'm like, try my luck? I've paid you people to get me to Tucson. So I say, fine. I go get on the new flight. I get to San Francisco, and I get to San Francisco at 12. I walk off the jetway at 12:53. My flight from San Francisco to Tucson was scheduled for 12:55. But I have to change terminals because I've flown into one terminal, and now I have to go through, but if you change terminals, you have to go through security again. That's right. Right? Oh. So I know I'm not going to make this flight. So I walk out, I go to the ticketing agent, and I say, so, what can you do for me? They were able to put me on a flight 8 hours from that point. So there I am in San Francisco. I'm like, well, I'm in San Francisco for 8 hours, but if you know where the San Francisco airport is located in relation to like where the fun stuff of San Francisco is, it ain't happening, right? So I'm thinking I could go, but I would basically get to like San Francisco and be like, oh, I'm here for 10 minutes. Now I have to turn around and go straight back to the airport. So I decide I'm just gonna wait here. I'll just wait at the airport. Now, I actually don't mind airports. In fact, when I was in high school, when you could still do this, I would go to the airport sometimes and I would just watch people. And then it makes me think of the film Love Actually, right? Have you seen that movie? What a great movie. I love that movie. But go to the airport and you see all of these people and you see reunions and you see people saying goodbye. And it's just this, it's actually a really fascinating thing to do, to observe people at the airport. So I'm like, all right, 8 hours. I get to observe people at the airport and try and get some sleep too, because I, got up at 5:15 Eastern time. And I'm looking forward to a flight that essentially goes out at 1 a.m. Eastern time, because it was a 10 o'clock flight out of San Francisco. So I'm there at the airport, and there at the airport, and I'm there at the airport. There are no good restaurants at the San Francisco airport. It's a very tiny little airport, not a lot going on, but it was jam-packed with people, so it was good for people watching. So I get to this point where I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, well, I have a choice here. I have a choice in how I am going to relate to my circumstances. Because there's lessons in everything, right? How am I going to relate to my circumstances? I can choose to enjoy this experience no matter what, or I can choose to be annoyed and allow it to affect my Christmas Eve. So I said, I'm going to choose what I want to experience, which is joy and happiness. So I get on and I start texting people, and I start, I'm just being in communication with my family because they were all expecting me to be there already. And I say, well, I'm going to go enjoy a nice Christmas Eve dinner here in the airport. So I go sit down and I have a nice glass of wine and I order dinner, and it's, a lovely, lovely time. And the whole time I'm singing this song in my head. I'm singing this. I almost asked us to do this today, but then I thought, I want today to be easy with music since after last week when I threw like 12 new songs at them. I wanted this week to be relaxed. But there was this song. I surrender, I trust, and I know that as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. Love that song. And it immediately puts me into that right frame of mind, that understanding that no matter what, I'm the one in charge of wherever I am. I'm the one in charge of my circumstances. So, we all have choice. We all have a choice to live in the moment and recognize that in those moments, we are in charge of the circumstances. We're not in charge necessarily of the way the circumstances show up, but we're in charge of our relationship to them and how we're going to respond to them, no matter what. So what is your choice going to be when seemingly not very nice things show up? Because it happens, right? Now, can you treat yourself out of the bad things showing up? Sure. But I don't want to spend my whole life being like, I'm going to treat for everything to be good in my life. Like, sometimes you need to give over to the subconscious and trust the subconscious is going to show you what you need to know. And so, in every moment, you are at choice, no matter what. The main thing is to ensure that you don't get upset about the present, because the present is the only place you ever are. Because what will happen is if you're upset in your present, you are now affecting your future. That's why I talk about today is tomorrow. No matter what, wherever you are in this moment is your future. So what choice are you going to make? What choice are you going to make? Are you going to be upset? Or can you lose that upset and live in the moment and trust and know that your circumstances, everything is unfolding for your highest good no matter what? Love that. Dr. Tom Costa. Do you know about this, Dr. Tom Costa? He used to finish everything by saying, no matter what. If you start living with that idea, everything is happening for your highest good, no matter what. Start putting it after every affirmative phrase that you say. People love me, no matter what. And they do. And they do. So, how do you build your tomorrow today? You build your tomorrow today by living in the moment. Not allowing your today to be filled with regrets. Not allowing the distant, no, how many of you have things that you regret in your past? I see some hands. It's okay. If you want to raise your hand. I suspect at some level we have all had or have or had, and maybe sometime in the future will have, maybe not, depends on your mindset. We will have had regrets in our life. Again, that's a circumstance. That's a circumstance. What is your relationship to the regret? Can you allow the regret to dissipate? It's an inside job. It is the way your mind is working to simply step away from the regret. And it's not just about the distant past, because there are so I had a relationship, and I've told you about this relationship. On some level, I regret this relationship to the degree that I was not allowing forgiveness to be paramount in my experience around this relationship I was in. That relationship I was carrying with me like a ton of bricks. Remember I had the bag talk? That was one of the things in the bag that I was carrying around with me for a long time. And it was weighing me down until I gave into forgiveness and I said, I no longer allow that relationship to have any dominion over me. It's really important to start to make these decisions and determinations, because your past will affect your present, which affects your future to the degree that you allow your past to affect your present. Because the only thing you've got going on is right now. This moment. Right now. And it's not just about the distant past. That is ancient history in my life now, that relationship. There are things that you may regret from 5 minutes ago. What is your relationship to those things? You have an opportunity right now, right in this moment, to let it go. To let it go. And as I say this in mental muscle all the time, let yourself off the hook. Let yourself off the hook. We carry around these weights so frequently. You've got to let yourself off the hook. Because ultimately, the forgiveness with respect to that relationship, yes, it was about that person, but ultimately the person I had to forgive was myself. Because I was at choice no matter what, and I chose that relationship at that point in my life. And so my regret was actually dissipated by forgiving myself. So let yourself off the hook. Let it go. Let it go. Which then brings to mind another song, which we haven't done here yet, but we will. Surrender, let it go. Surrender, let it all go. We'll do that song sometime, I promise. So your present today is tomorrow, because God's creation is always taking place. God's creation is always taking place. Your yesterdays have no bearing on the truth of now. They have absolutely no bearing. Ernest Holmes writes, what we did in the past is carried over into the present only because we give our consent to it. That's the only reason that anything from the past has anything to do with what's happening in our present. That's it, because we have decided to. We've given our consent to it. This is one of the major fundamental principles of our teaching. Principle is not bound by precedent. And, it's a catchphrase in our teaching. Principle is not bound by precedent. We spout it off all the time. You hear me say it in class all the time. Principle is not bound by precedent. There's absolutely nothing in your past that has any bearing on your present or your future, except to the degree that you allow it to. So what are you holding on to right in this moment? Check in. What are you holding on to? What is something that maybe you've got going on in your experience that you're ready to let go of? You can make that choice right now to let go. Be done with it. But it's a choice. It's a choice that you make. It is a mindful, specific choice. Too many of us are trying to fix the mistakes of the past, trying to fix things. We did this thing out here, and now we want to fix it. We want to try and change what it was. You can't change what it was. It is what it is. As we try to fix the mistakes of the past, by thinking that something, some activity, some thought, or an act of repentance. Oh, you love that, right? How many of you come from a philosophy where there was repentance that you had to experience at some point to let go of the past? Those things do not change the past. Nothing can change the past. Nothing. It's done. It is a done deal. What happened, happened. What are you going to do in this moment moving forward? To begin truly living the gift, you have to stop trying to change the past. And it's, we say it. It seems simple, right? It seems simple. Let go and let God. If it is so simple, why do you think it's difficult? Any thoughts around why you think it's difficult? Ego is a great answer because we get in the way. We get in the way. Our intellectual thinking gets in the way of what can truly be happening in our heart. Lena, you were so right on with this idea that if you open up your heart, if you open up to love, no matter what, everything's going to flow forth brilliantly. And you can let go of those things, but you must let go of some of these things to allow the love to blossom. We are the ones who make it difficult to let go. So, today is the only day, right here. This moment is the only moment. I've got another quote, because I love quotes. This is a long one, so bear with me and then I'll break it down. This is Ernest Holmes. Today is the only day in which we live, and yesterday has forever passed. The change we need to make within ourselves must be made today, which is what I've been talking about. And so we have to live each day as though it were complete and perfect within itself. We have to live each day as though all the joy there is in the universe were ours now. And we have to live each day as though all the joy we ever expect to experience were ours now. Today is tomorrow. If you want to live joy tomorrow, live joy today. We have to live each day as though all the joy there is in the universe were ours now. We have to live each day as though all the joy we ever expect to experience were ours now. Because joy is one of the attributes of God. And you are God. Each and every one of us is that perfect, unique individualization of a creative force that at the very core is joy. It is love, it's light, it is life, it is harmony, it is peace, it is beauty, it is wisdom. It is all of these things. And it is exactly who and what you are. So this all kind of goes in line, too, with what happens around this time of year when everybody makes New Year's resolutions, right? We make New Year's resolutions. I don't anymore. I mean, I do, but I'm making resolutions all the time in my life. They don't have to be just at New Year's. What am I resolved to do in every single moment of my life? Now, usually, what I have observed, and I used to do this myself, is you would make a resolution as a reaction to something that you have experienced in the past. So, at this moment, I'm going to be changed. I'm going to be different. Now, the concept of resolution is not bad. In fact, when I do treatment, you'll hear me say this in treatment. I use the term, I resolve in this moment. I resolve. Or I am resolved in this moment. Right here, right now, I am resolved. I use that in my treatment work all the time. But what does it mean to be resolved? Because if your resolution is simply a reaction to something that has happened, but you're not letting go of that reaction or that thing or that event or that circumstance, it's going to keep showing up in your experience. If you are truly resolved, that means letting go. Letting go of the past and letting go of any attachment to the outcome. Letting go of what you think it should look like. If you are truly resolved, then you are resolved right here and right now. And whatever you resolve is a done deal. And if you make a New Year's resolution and you have to work hard at it and check in with yourself in 30 days to see if you're still living within that resolution, it was never truly a resolution. Because if you are resolved, it's a done deal. And you must let go of what it looks like on the other side. This is why, when we do treatment, you'll hear it. Now, those of you who study in classes and know the structure that we teach of treatment, you'll understand this. But you'll hear it even if you haven't studied. You'll hear this in the treatments that we give from the podium. There's a point at the treatment in which we release it all. We release our word. We release it to the law of cause and effect in trust. That's being resolved. When you can truly, truly trust that it is a done deal, whatever it is you want to experience, it's a done deal. Then you don't have to work at the resolution. You don't have to work. Here's a good one. How many people resolve to lose weight in the new year? If you are truly resolved, do you know what you need to change? You need to change your relationship to the circumstances of your weight. Which means change your relationship to food, change your relationship to exercise. Don't just dive into it thinking that it's just gonna get done from pure white knuckle willpower. Because that's not being resolved. If you are truly resolved, then the change happens in mind first, which is where all change truly happens, in mind first. If it's not truly changed in mind, it will not show up in your experience. If you're using willpower to make it happen, it might show up in your experience for a little while, but it will dissipate. Because willpower, human ego-based willpower, will do nothing ultimately. Because you'll slip right back into that old habit. So you must change the habit. You must change the belief behind the idea. So you've got to let it go. Got to let go and live right now. Live right now. Live in this moment. Today is tomorrow. There's a great, so the first show I ever saw on Broadway, like actually on Broadway in New York, I saw a lot of tours growing up. But the first show, and this will also show my age, not that I'm old, it'll actually show, quite frankly, how young I am. Okay, so you also know that I have a birthday coming up. I'm turning 40 on Friday. I am young. I am young. So the first show that I ever saw on Broadway in New York was in 1997. I was still in college, and I was on holiday. I was on spring break from college, and it was my first trip to New York ever. I was so excited, and I got to go see this great new show. I saw the entire original cast. This show was called Rent. How many of you have ever seen Rent? How many of you know the music from Rent? There is so much science of mind in Rent. It is awesome. It is awesome. But there's this one line that I always go to when I need to be reminded. When I need to be reminded. The line is this: there is no future. There is no past. I live this moment as my last. Now, it sounds a little fatalistic, but the truth is, you don't know where you're going to be in 5 minutes. So live this moment, right here and right now, as the best moment you possibly can. Because this moment will indeed create the next moment, and the next moment, and the next moment. So live every moment as though it's your last. That line goes on, there's only us, and there's only this. There's only us, and there's only this. Forget regret, or life is yours to miss. You got to let go of regret. got to let go of the things that don't serve you. But it's up to you to make it happen. So finally, I'm going to talk a little bit about my experience here. Now, I had an idea. I had a dream. I had a dream that I would have a brilliant ministry. And that dream, I think, quite frankly, has become my reality. But here's what I know. It's not just my consciousness that created that. It's not just my personal, individualized conscious awareness that created that. Each and every one of you is involved in making that dream a realization. And don't think for a minute that I don't give great thanks for that every single moment of my life. Do you know that you are here, each and every one of you is here on purpose? Each and every one of you is here on purpose, whether you recognize that you're here on purpose or not. You're here on purpose. You could be any other place. You could be infinite numbers of places, maybe not Mars yet. But you could be on Mars. If you laid in bed at home this morning and just imagined yourself on Mars, you're there. But I give great thanks, and I'm so grateful to every single one of you for making my dream a reality. Now I'm going to get... All right, I need a tissue. Thank you. Everything aligned. I can't tell you how perfect everything aligned for me to be here. I mean, you all know this stuff. I've told you the story in the past. Everything lined up. The perfect opportunity at the perfect time, with the perfect community, in the perfect city. I love this city. Everything aligned for my highest good. And it's what I choose to share with you every single week. I choose to share with you what is good for me. And I trust that whatever I share with you will lift you up. You know, I never stand up here with the intention of telling you what to think or how to live. That is entirely your choice. No matter what, you have the opportunity in every moment to step up and rethink your life. And if you're not happy with what's going on, it's up to you to change it. That's hard for some people to hear. It's up to you to change it. Now, if you need assistance with that, you can come talk to me. You can come talk to our practitioners. Margaret Ann, Helen, who's downstairs. There is help for you if you want it, because we can lead you to spiritual truth. We can help you, guide you to spiritual truth. But ultimately, the work you do is the work you do, because you have to be open to it. So if you have any regrets going on, if you have anything that you're holding on to from the past, let it go. Just let it go. Recognize that this moment, right here, right now, was created by you. Right now, everything, every single person that you are experiencing in this room was created by you. Everything that you experience is created by you, because you've made the choice to experience it. So if you need change, you are the catalyst for change. Which then takes me to the song, this brilliant, beautiful song. One of the lines, all that I see, all that I do, I get to decide which door to go through. So, let's you and I commit to an extraordinary life. Take a vow from this point now, an extraordinary life. There is no mistaking your thoughts are creating. It's yours for the taking. Your mind is making all that we see, all that we do. We get to decide which door to go through. every single one of us can commit right in this moment to create an extraordinary life for ourselves. Which is why I've changed it. You know, yes, we have creating amazing lives out there, and amazing wasn't good enough for me. Extraordinary. We are creating extraordinary lives, each and every one of us. That's the truth. But we're all doing it individually. And in our own individual extraordinary lives, we're affecting everyone around us, creating an extraordinary community, an extraordinary city, an extraordinary country, an extraordinary continent, an extraordinary world. Ultimately, we individually create an extraordinary universe. And it's up to you, right here, right now, to live it. And you must live it in this moment, because today is tomorrow. And that's the truth. Namaste. Oh. So, I will invite you to take out whatever it is you have to offer to the center today, your gift, your contribution, your tithe, whatever you call it. Recognize that what you hold in your hand, as you hold it before these baskets go around, is an energy. It is energy. It is an idea. But it is an idea that is in support of this center. It is an idea that is in support of this teaching. It is an idea that is in support of each and every one of you. For as you give, so you receive. You know, it's funny. So I walk home, and there's that place down. I walk home. You love that? So I'm like, I walk home. And this is exactly how I walk home. And there's this place called Chicken Joy, right? Down on Queen Street. And then there's, I think, a shop of some sort upstairs above. And they always have this sign out there. And I just take note of it every time I pass it, because it says, to get, you have to give. Well, duh. Because if you are not giving, then you can't receive. Here's the other thing. If you're not receiving, you're stopping the flow in that direction as well. So try to find the balance between giving and receiving in your life. What you have to offer today, I thank you so much for it, and I give great gratitude for your support of this center. And I trust and know that this next year is an extraordinary year, because I've already decided in my experience, I'm living it as an extraordinary year right now. So as the baskets go around, we're going to sing God is My Source. I don't know what number that is.
13.
Number 13. You would think at this point I would have this memorized,
yeah.
right? Number 13 in your songbooks if you want to sing along. And I invite you to stand and dance and sing and live in joy.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. Joy is my source, joy is my power, joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Joy gives me everything I need. Love is my source. Love is my power. Love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my source. God is my power. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks. So I give thanks for all my blessings. For all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need.
Margaret Ann. Thank you so much.
Please join me in a prayer of gratitude. In this moment, I become totally aware that there is one presence, and it is everywhere. It is in every one of us, in this center and in this world. And I know that in these baskets, they are full of love, faith, and trust. And I know that this board of trustees of this center, as the board of trust, employs this energy, this money, in the highest and best for everyone concerned with this center and beyond. There's only love, and it has so many forms. And I'm grateful for this form and for the form that comes in time and talent and energy of everyone in this center. In gratitude, I release these words to the law of mind, knowing it is the truth. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Margaret Ann. So let's give great gratitude to Jim and Carbon, who are our board members on duty today. Yes. Thank you. Also setting up today were Linda and Susan, our greeters today, Judy and Tony. Lena, thank you so much for your reading. Perfect. Helping out in the bookstore today, Marg, and our practitioner of the day, Margaret Ann. Thank you so much for your beautiful treatment work today, and for your meditation. Thank you. I want to thank, in the sound booth, doing double duty, playing electric guitar and mixing the service, Steve. Down with the kids today, those dynamic kids are Mark and Helen, and I'm so grateful to them. On camera, making sure that we go out to the world. Hello, hi. Was I stepping out of frame? I could. I like to try and keep Tony on his toes. Thank you, Tony. I'm sure my dad, who watches every Sunday, I'm sure he's going, why are you doing that? Why are you running around, playing around? Because he's my dad. He knows why. I thank you so much to the band and to Pierre for that beautiful song. And I want to thank all of you for being here. I'm so grateful to each and every one of you for what this community has blossomed into this past year. And I give all my gratitude to you for making that happen, because I didn't make it happen. You made it happen. Every single one of you. So thank you. So, you are special. So, to close out our last moments, we're going to sing this song that is by Reverend Donna Michael. This is a very special song for me. Switching to this microphone now. Right on top of it. Mostly because, you know the story of what this song means to my mentor, Reverend James. Because it helped him get through, quite frankly, it helped him get through cancer treatment. In those moments when he would forget, this song would always remind him. And so he took this into his radiation treatments with the recognition that no matter what, he was always fully supported. And the truth is, each and every one of us is fully supported in all of our life's experience. What choice are you going to make today? Whatever choice that is, recognize that you are supported in that choice, no matter what. And so as we go into this, if you want to close your eyes, if you want to just relax into this moment and reflect on what you've heard today, this recognition that no matter what, there is something that is holding you. There is something that is supporting you. You are fully, fully held in the hands of grace, in the arms of the divine. That's the truth. I'm held in love. I'm held in peace. God is holding me with every breath, with every step. God is holding me. I'm held in love. I'm held in peace. right here in this moment. I recognize and know that there is an infinite intelligence that is operating throughout the entire universe and beyond. There is only this perfect, infinite energy. There is only this one divine creative source. It is all. It is omniscient. It is omnipotent. It is omnipresent. It is. It simply is. And it is fully present right here in this moment, in this place. And each and every one of us is a perfect idea, individualized as this divine energy. Each one of us is a perfect point at which this energy is flowing and creating. There is no separation. There is only God. And each and every one of us is God. And so I align myself right here in this moment with that understanding. I embody this presence right here and right now. And in this understanding, I let go. I let go to live the greatest life right in this moment. And I trust this is so for each and every one of us, with the understanding that we are each of us perfectly expressing in abundance, in joy, in love. Each of us is expressing in beauty, as beauty. Each of us is peace, living as peace. For it is all done right in this moment in our mind. And so I give over to it. I give over to the perfect expression of life by means of each and every one of us. And in this understanding, I am truly grateful. I am grateful for this experience. I'm grateful for this time. I am grateful for this community. I'm grateful for this teaching. I'm grateful for this music. I am grateful, truly grateful. And I give over in gratitude, releasing this word as a done deal. It is perfectly done in mind, and so it is perfectly done in an experience right here, right now. I know it is so, and I simply let it be so as together we say, and so it is. God is holding me. God is holding me. God is holding me. God is holding me. I'm held in love. I'm held in peace. God is holding me. With every breath, with every step, God is holding me. 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 And so it is. So, to finalize this feeling, this experience, we're going to sing Watching the River Run, which is number 30?
20.
20. It's number 20. 20 is the new 30. Wait, that's the wrong direction. Because that would mean that 40 is the new 50. No, that 50 is the new 40.
Yes, it is.
50 is the new 40, but 40 is the new 50 if you're going with 20. Anyway.
Yeah.
Number 20 in your songbooks. And if you'd like to stand up and celebrate and move your body and dance around, you are welcome to do so. Watching the River Run.
1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3.
If you've been thinking you're all that you've got, then don't feel alone anymore. When we're together, then you've got a lot. 'Cause I am the river and you are the shore. And it goes on and on, watching the river run further and further from things that we've done, leaving them one by one. And we have just begun, watching the river run, listening and learning and yearning to run, river, run. Winding and swirling and dancing along, we pass by the old willow tree, where old friends embrace as we sing the last song, rejoicing together as we greet the sea. And it goes on and on, watching the river run further and further from things that we've done, leaving them one by one. And we have just begun, watching the river run, listening and learning and yearning to run, river, run. And it goes on and on, watching the river run further and further from things that we've done, leaving them one by one. And we have just begun, watching the river run, listening and learning and yearning to run, river, run, listening and learning and yearning to run, river, run.
Have a great week, everyone.